Hi, hey, and all those other greetings, adventurers. I'm Jakes, welcoming you guys back to my gaming and unboxing channel, where today it is hot as heck. I have another fan again, which is awesome, but they're both off for audio issues, so that's fun. But hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and hopefully I make this decently quick. I guess in a way, it's kind of like a metaphor. I might be burning. I do at least have some water, no Gatorade. But it's metaphoric just because we're doing some variant figures from Jakks Pacific. That's right. We have the Wave 3 Jakks Pacific figures. Now, if you don't follow this whole entire thing, or maybe you do and you didn't know about this wave, you might be like, whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean Jakks Pacific variant figures? I am extremely confused. There is a huge, large pool of Sonic cast. The first wave was Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow. The second wave, you know, being Eggman, Metal Sonic, Super Sonic, and another Sonic. And they have the fighter, the Sonic battle sprites. That was cool. What, like, isn't Wave 3 something like, you know, having another Sonic, and then, you know, having other characters that they haven't done, like Amy, Rouge, Blaze, Silver. Like, come on, tell me that's what it is. No, for some reason they switched gears and jumped to variants on the figures. Now, just in case there's somebody who is getting into collecting and doesn't know exactly what I'm talking about, essentially what these figure companies will do is they'll have a model, a mock-up set up, they'll have a bunch of blueprints set up, and they will have this about a year, a few months in advance. It takes a long time to plan out, actually make said figures, plush, anything. It takes a ton of planning. That's a lot of work and a lot of money. So instead of just making something completely new and doing as much as possible and hoping that it's quality, sometimes what companies will do is they'll take an existing blueprint and they will modify it. This can be done in a few different ways. We've seen this from basically any company, any series that you can think of. Jazzwares, they had certain variants such as Sonic and the Black Knight, as well as their line that had, as I've mentioned before, all of the characters having accessories with them. Sonic having the ring, Knuckles having the Master Emerald, Shadow having Black Doom, Amy with the Pico Pico hammer. And of course other types of things do this. Like the TMNT toys when I was younger, they had a dinosaur set, which is awesome because it came with a prehistoric version of the turtle and then a dinosaur. And thinking about it, the turtles figures, wow, that was a huge scam because they basically look the same except for different colored bands and the weapons. So the turtles in them of themselves for merchandise were already variants. Huh. That's a realization. But anyway though, back to the whole variant thing. Essentially, any company, they do this. It's not a big thing, and I've talked about it multiple times. Plush, they even do it from time to time. But for the most part, figures do that. So back to the whole topic at hand, Jakks Pacific for Wave 3 has done a few different variants. They've done the variants that we will be looking at today, which is more of a sports variant pack, and they've done a variant in bendable figures. Basically, it's just Jakks Pacific joint figures that you can move around, and actually more like an action figure type thing than a bendable, posable type of figure. Which I like that better. Also, those ones come with different accessories. Unfortunately, no longer the battle sprites. I know I was extremely excited and really hoping we'd see Emerald, Chaos, and a lot of other battle sprites. But for now, that's not happening. And of course, we do have some cool stuff to look at for the plush Wave 2. But today, we will be looking at the Jakks Pacific sports figures. Now, I actually have all of these as I bought a case on Entertainment Earth. We'll be getting into that in a little bit. But for right now, let's look at the box. So Sonic comes in a Green Hill jersey. You know, looks pretty cool. And it's great that they actually have the name on there. Would have been cool to see a logo, but it's nice because I wasn't sure what the jerseys were supposed to be. And now I can just look. Now, the cool thing is the back of the box actually has, I'm not going to show the bottom because spoilers, but he has a soccer ball kick pose. So I guess the essential idea is for the kids who would actually want to play with this, or the adults who would want to play with this. I just collect them, but there are some adults that make, you know, the figure and plush videos, which is fine. But anyway, though, we are going to pop open this, and when we do, we're going to yell, "Goal!" Just like a real sportsman, right? Except instead of ripping up a package of a fictional hedgehog, they usually do the shirt. But nobody needs to see that. And I like this shirt. Nobody wants to see a literal broken-hearted froggy. Yeah, okay. Let's go into the figure itself before I get even weirder. So, of course, I like to look at the accessory, but for the most part, this time, yeah, it's just a toy soccer ball. Nothing too special. Honestly, they didn't really need to do this, but hey, it's still cool. It feels kind of like a rubber bouncy ball, except harder. Like, it feels like the mix of a bouncy ball and a rock. Oh. It is literally a debunked bouncy ball, as it doesn't bounce. But you can, like, throw it up. You can have them kick it. I guess, you know, if you want to have them be the goalie, you can put it in their hand. But in soccer, that's cheating. Also, if I keep throwing this up, it's going to hurt. Now, I would go over the soccer ball, but I mean, let's be honest here. We've all seen soccer balls. It's pretty unlikely that they'd mess up something very simple, and it would be pretty sad. But it is pretty nicely detailed, you know? It looks pretty good, considering it's just a random accessory that didn't really need to be there. But that does tell us that any single figure that Jakks Pacific has will have some kind of accessories. So that in and of itself is pretty neat. I'm not going to lie. Now, I do actually prefer the battle sprites over this, but, you know, of course I do. However, that is not the main selling point. The main selling point is Sonic the Hedgehog. I believe he's actually in a different pose. I know he's over there somewhere. But, yeah, I mean, for a comparison, you could just look up my my other video, which is the set of having Sonic and Tails, I think, was that video? I don't know, I'll have to try to remember to link it. Oh my god, it looks like he's sweating. Was that on purpose? Dude, if that's on purpose, that's meta. I don't think it is, but it definitely looks like he's sweating. So, let's look at the figure himself. Honestly, I don't know if the intention was to promote Tokyo Olympics, or if they just decided that they wanted to do this variant, but they did do this. The first thing that I do want to mention that I find interesting is the fact that the jersey is removable. So if you decide this jersey stinks, I don't like it, I don't want it on here, it's super flimsy, you don't actually have to have it on there. And that's cool. Or if something happens to this figure and you have another Sonic figure, you can plop it on there. Or what they were probably intending was switching the jerseys. Now, what I had assumed is that it would be pretty much plastered onto them and have like a number in the back. And I was kind of hoping that's what they would do instead of doing it this way. But to be fair, I am a collector. I'm not looking for that whole entire idea of, oh, hey, I don't want Sonic to be on Green Hill Zone's team. I'm tired of Green Hill Zone. That's so basic. Sonic deserves more than basic Green Hill Zone. Then, you can switch that. But yeah, the other nice thing too is that essentially this just works as another Sonic figure if you wanted one. I believe that the pose is actually different, as well as him having a smirk, which is pretty cool. As of that one, the paint job is really good, and the smirk is also really awesome. Again, it reminds me a lot of Sonic Colors in the style, the colors, and just all in all pretty cool. As I said in that video, essentially it's pretty much as if they ripped Sonic's model right from the game. But even though I don't think it's the intention, it also looks to me, even if it might be a little harder to see, like there's some kind of like sweat dripping on there because of how the paint is. And I just think that's pretty cool. Now, the whole main draw of this is effectively the jersey. The jersey itself is okay. I kind of, as I said, wish that it wasn't removable because then it would just have better feeling. Also, it just makes Sonic look kind of weird. Like, it just looks... It doesn't look right. It just doesn't. And maybe I shouldn't have fully taken it off, but it was kind of slipping off. Because it's not that stable. It's not like there's a clip in back. It's just a Polly Pocket clothing. Let's be real here. And of course, as usual, the bending is pretty much not very existent. The hands themselves, Sonic's waving. Hey, I'm excited. I can kick a goal. And then the other one, maybe he's getting ready to pick up a Gatorade. Or let's be honest, it's Sonic. He'd be cool. He'd drink something like a Coke and not care about heat stroke. I don't know. Don't get heat stroke. Yeah. Just don't do it. I mean, this is a family-friendly channel. We don't want to have anybody get heat stroke. Basically, if it's 90 degrees out and you're about to play soccer, drink some water. I mean, yes, Gatorade's okay for that, electrolytes and stuff. But stay hydrated, I guess, is the lesson. All right, well, the next one is, if I can get him out. What do you mean this is the exact same figure? Yep, this is the exact same figure. Okay, well maybe that's just a little mistake. Oh my God, they're multiplying. Oh my God, I didn't know Sonic had triplets. It was a set of triplets. This is weird. This is weird. Everyone is Sonic. It's the Sonic plague. Oh my God. Okay. Let's not freak out too soon. Maybe there's more things than just Sonic. Let's be honest here. This was classic Sonic and Boom Sonic, right? That's just what it is. Let's see. Okay. Oh my God, please don't be sad. Tails isn't infected. Tails! He exists! Yep. All joking aside, essentially, I was not an idiot and bought 3 Sonics for this joke. No. Apparently, Entertainment Earth sells these as if you are a store that wants to sell the merchandise. Clearly, none of those stores are buying them because I can never find them. However, at the same time, they still shed a lot of light because there's 3 Sonics and they're the only repeats. That's right, there's no like repeats of Tails or the others that are in there, which I find silly. I find very, very silly. But either way, yeah, there's, you know, because it's meant for a store, and I didn't realize that, and now I know why it cost me $200 for both of these things with the plush and figures, and I'm kind of sad about that. But hey, that's okay. Moving on, we are going to jump to Tails, or fly to Tails. Now, this one, the nice thing is, they're not just like, we only stand soccer. Alright? If you don't like soccer, we about to fight. Alright? Get off my field. No, instead, they like other sports. I guess in a way you could be like, this is what these characters prefer. Prefer. I can speak. And essentially I'm just going to be doing these 2. And then the next episode will be the next 2 figures. Like I did the last time. Because that's easier for me. To be honest. For recording and editing. But anyway though. We did go for the other one. It's not really anything to scream for volleyball. I also don't know that much about volleyball. It's just, you know, I'm not gonna hit it into the air or it'll just fall to the ground. Okay, well somebody else is getting points. Well, we don't have to scream anytime we open something. Oh, that was almost perfect! I'm kind of sad about that because that was almost perfect. And the cool thing is, on the box, he's about to hit the volleyball. These attention to details are so super cute. My God. And can I just say, Tails looks as cute as ever. Now, as I stated before, I would look into the volleyball, but it's white. It's sleek and matted. And it has grooves in it. Whoa! You know, basically it's a volleyball. What else more can I say? But now, oh, you know what? Thinking about it, I actually don't know why they have it to where you can remove these jerseys. And now I'm actually kind of mad about it. Because Tails would clearly not be able to swap with Sonic's jersey because of the backs, because he doesn't have the back spikes. This is upsetting. I wanted Sonic to be on this Starlight team. Guess Starlight Carnival? But honestly, this is a pretty cool jersey. You know, red looks pretty good on Tails, believe it or not. Might be a little more weird to be on Tails, but it looks pretty nice, you know, for the most part. You've got the volleyball, you've got the Starlight with black letters, and all the jerseys have this like white swish on it. So I guess they canonically have a sports team jersey look, which is pretty cool. Now, it would have been kind of cooler had they had it in a more dynamic pose where it was more like this. Or had this one open like he was serving the ball. But I guess instead they went with this cheering thing. So I guess he can be on the sidelines cheering for Sonic if you really want to. Especially since you can take off the jersey. Yeah, pretty neat. Now, as I said for Tails, it's pretty much the same. But at the same time, that's also a great thing because these two we have seen before, and excuse me for being super repetitive, but essentially it's like these guys were just ripped out of the game. They look great. There are no missteps here. And even with the tails, the yellow part is up a little more and the white part is lower to show that it's a different part of his tail. It looks natural, it looks 3D, and they gave the white part a texture to show that it's fur and that it's a very different part of his tail and that it's a softer tip of his tail. That is just super cool to me and super impressive, and something I don't think I mentioned before. Another thing that I'm noticing is that there's a line like right by his thumb, which makes it super cool because it actually legitimately looks like a glove. And that in and of itself is pretty cool and pretty impressive. Now, I know we didn't really technically go over these figures. However, if you want to see a super in-depth version of this, you can always go to the Sonic and Tails Wave 1 Jakks-specific video to check that out. However, the second part of this video, which will be another video, we have not seen those figures before, so I will be looking a little bit sharper at those figures. You know, it's weird to say that looking at a figure that is basically perfect and done completely right is boring. But at the same time, that's amazing. That's a great thing. I would rather have a slightly more boring video because of no misperfections than to have another Tomy Tales. Sorry, just looked into my nightmares for a second there. But anyway, though, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, cheers out without being known love, brother, mother, sister, father, iguana, and stay sporty. Hi! Sportsmanship! Yeah, a little, well, I don't even know if that's my story. But yeah, I would remember at the end of like baseball games when you'd go and you'd line up and you'd go to high five the kids. Sometimes they'd be kind of mean about it. They would not be sportsmanly. So I guess that's number 2. Lesson number 2 of the video of being sportsmanly. Yeah. All right, guys.